Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is House of the Dragon, Episode 2. So at the end of Episode 1, the King Viserys Targaryen decided to name his daughter Rhaenyra heir to the Iron Throne. But they're not really treating her like the future queen right now. She attends small council meetings, but pouring the wine, not with a seat at the table. And the main issue this episode is that everyone wants King Viserys to remarry so he can have more kids and get a real male heir. And so it's time for The Bachelor, King's Landing. Now, King Viserys really loved his wife, so he's still depressed about it, and the person he's getting comfort from right now is young Alicent Hightower, daughter of his most trusted advisor, Hand of the King, Otto Hightower. It's not a romantic relationship at the moment, she just keeps him company while he plays with his model city. But remember, it is her father who's encouraging her to hang out with the king, so he's power climbing. And remember, Alicent is Rhaenyra's best friend, but she doesn't tell her yet that she's flirting with her dad. But the top marriage proposal the king's considering is from Corlys Velaryon. Remember, he's married to the king's cousin, Rhaenys Targaryen, the one who was passed over back in the big council, the queen who never was. They have a daughter who's almost of age, and it would be a great match because the Velaryons are a very powerful house, and the Velaryons and Targaryens both descended from old Valyria, the great old empire across the sea, so it would strengthen the bloodline. So the king agrees to go on a date with their daughter Laena, but when I said she's almost of age, in another couple years, she's 12 right now. In medieval politics, sometimes you gotta lock that betrothal down early, but Viserys is kinda creeped out by it. So while her father's on a date with his second cousin, Rhaenyra's having a convo with her second cousin Rhaenys. And you'd think these two might be friends as two strong Targaryen women, but really they're kinda sassing each other. Rhaenyra's like, it doesn't matter if my father remarries, he named me heir, but Rhaenys is like, you see what's happening here, they want to replace you.
Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne.
But now there's a new problem from the king's brother, Daemon Targaryen, who the king renounced as his heir last episode, but Daemon decided to kind of ignore that. He took a little army and occupied Dragonstone, the castle off the coast that is where the heir always lives. He hasn't been bothering anyone, so they didn't want to start a fight, they're just ignoring him, but now he's come back and stolen a dragon egg! He left a letter saying he's marrying his mistress, and she's pregnant, so he needs a dragon egg in the Targaryen tradition to put in the cradle with the baby. But they only do that with the kids of the king, not of the king's brother, so they gotta get that back. So we're sailing off to Dragonstone, and if you remember, this is where Stannis lived for most of Game of Thrones, and where Daenerys landed later, with the big stone bridge. Daemon's here, cool as a cucumber, being kind of a cocky guy. Remember, he and the Hand, Otto Hightower, really don't like each other, so now it's like, yo bro, you gotta give that egg back and stop calling yourself the heir, or it's gonna come to blows. Daemon's like, you want the egg? Come and take it, and it looks like it might come to blows, which would be very bad for Otto, because don't forget, Daemon has a dragon, and it's like a crazy designed, long-necked, screechy dolphin dragon. But wait, what's that in the mist? It's another dragon! Rhaenyra decided to fly on over with hers to remind everyone, I'm a dragon rider. She goes up to talk to her uncle, Targaryen to Targaryen. And these two aren't enemies, we saw in episode 1, they kinda like each other, they're family. But she's like, yo uncle, you're taking it too far here, it's going from a family squabble to full-blown treason. You either give me that egg back right now, or you may as well kill me and declare civil war. It's a tense standoff, but in the end, Daemon doesn't want that, so he caves, tosses her back the egg, and civil war's avoided for now. Now, by the way, Daemon's mistress Mysaria is not pregnant, and he didn't tell her that they were getting married and having a baby. And she is not interested. She's happy enough to be his mistress, but entering the Game of Thrones is a good way to get her head on a spike. With the Daemon issue resolved for now, it's back to King Viserys' search for a new wife. He has a heart-to-heart with his daughter Rhaenyra, like, hey, I loved your mother and I love you, but I have to remarry. It's what's best for the realm. And Rhaenyra is like, Pops, you're the king, I get it, you do what you gotta do. So the next morning, he's announcing his engagement to the small council, and everyone agrees Laena Velaryon is the right choice. But the king goes for the surprise move and announces he's marrying Alicent Hightower. Yes, while all his advisors spent the episode saying Laena Velaryon's the clear choice, his Hand, Otto Hightower, was like, you gotta follow your heart. And behind the scenes, he's talking to his daughter like, hey, spend more time with the king. So she goes in there and fixed his dragon miniature for him, which won him over. So Otto Hightower playing the Game of Thrones real hard. Naturally, this pisses off Rhaenyra, whose dad's now engaged to her best friend, and neither of them gave her the heads up. But this pisses off Corlys Velaryon even more, rejecting a proposal kind of a slap in the face. And Corlys Velaryon's already mad at the king over another issue, the crab feeder. Yes, this pirate's been terrorizing shipping lanes in the Stepstones, and shipping is Corlys Velaryon's whole thing. He's been asking permission to send his navy down there to stop him, but the king was like, hey, that might anger the free cities, I can't allow it. So Corlys goes home and has a meeting with Daemon Targaryen. It's like, hey man, why don't you and I team up for a little unofficial mission to take out this crab feeder? This would make the king mad and undermine his authority, but it's not full-blown treason yet. In fact, when Daemon's like, yeah, my brother's a weak king, and Corlys Velaryon's like, yeah man, he sucks. Daemon's like, whoa, I'm allowed to talk smack about my brother, you can't talk smack about your king. But these two are teaming up to take down the crab feeder, and that's where episode 2 comes to an end. If you like this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.